Thanks for joining me on Quick Business Tips. I'm Jennifer Swineford. I want you to think about something for just a minute because I know that you have built an incredible business. Your service is top tier. Your clients get amazing results and you operate with the highest integrity. You are, in every sense of the word, one of the best at what you do. So, why does it sometimes feel like you're the best kept secret in your industry? Why does it feel like you're shouting into the void while your less qualified competitors seem to get all the attention? Well, the problem isn't likely your service. The problem is your message. Because we live in a world that is completely saturated with messages and it just becomes noise. And that's when a corporate logo or a polished website is no longer the strongest message. The message that cuts through, the one that builds instant connection and credibility, comes from a human being. It comes from you. And today we're going to go beyond all the advice and we're going to look at hard data, real numbers, and then talk about how they apply to real world stories. And I am going to explain to you in both a data sense and a story sense why building your personal brand is no longer optional. It is the single most powerful way to deliver trust, reach, and increase the profits in your business. But let's start with a little foundation because the truth is in 2025, trust is hard to find. It no longer lives primarily in institutions or logos or brands. It lives in people because we are all wired to connect with and trust other human beings, not brands. And the data on this is overwhelming. Just one study found that 92% of people trust recommendations from other people, even if they don't know them. And they trust it over messages that come directly from the brand. So let me tell you a story, and I'm going to change the name so that everyone remains safe. Think about a marketing director who we're going to call Sarah. Now, Sarah needs to hire a consulting firm because they have a major product launch coming up. And she finds two different options that she's narrowed it down to. Firm A has a beautiful, polished corporate website, and it's full of we statements. We deliver innovative solutions. We are industry leaders. It's professional, but maybe a little too polished, and it feels like a well-crafted brochure. Now, firm number two has a nice looking website, but its CEO, we're just going to call him David, he is super active on LinkedIn. And for months, he has been sharing his personal insights on the exact same challenges that Sarah knows she's going to be facing with this product launch. He's not selling in any of these posts. He's just teaching. He's sharing his philosophy on leadership, his analysis of market trends, and even stories about mistakes that he's made in the past and what he learned from them. So when it comes time to reach out, who do you think Sarah's going to turn to? It's going to be David. She feels like she already knows him. She trusts his expertise because he's demonstrated it time and time again. And this isn't just one story. It's been documented in a number of studies. Research shows that 82% of people are more likely to trust a company when its leaders and top employees are active on social media. Sarah isn't just a one-off. She's the new majority. She trusts David, the human being, long before she's ever going to trust his company, the brand, and the logo. So we've established that the trust message is stronger when it comes from a person, but the impact goes far beyond that. The reach of that message is also exponentially greater. So picture another scenario. There's an architecture firm and they just finished this stunning medical facility. Their marketing team writes an amazing case study and posts it to the company's official social media page. Now it gets a few likes and maybe a comment from another industry leader, but it's really just a pebble tossed into a gigantic ocean. Now, picture Maria. She's the lead architect on this project. She takes that exact same case study from the business page, shares it on her personal profile, but it's not just an empty share. She adds a heartfelt caption. I'm so proud of this project. My favorite moment was seeing the client's face when they walked in for the first time. This is why I love what I do. Now, what happened next is pure magic. And I'm not just going to give you Maria's numbers, I'm going to tell you what studies have shown. Because branded messages from employees, just like Maria, are reshared 24 times more often than the same message on the official business page. Her posts are seen by her network on average 10 on her network, which on average is 10 times larger than the number of people that are following that business page. Then the shares come in. A former colleague reshares it, a professor from the university comments on it, a potential client who's been quietly following her finally reaches out. So the power of Maria's post is exponential compared to the power of the post that was on the business page. The company's post was just a broadcast. Maria's post was a conversation starter, and it rippled through the network that she built through genuine human connection, not the corporate marketing that built the company's business page. Because that's the ripple effect and the power behind a personal brand. So this is where a lot of business leaders start to push back a little. They tell me that this all sounds really nice, but is this going to translate into real numbers? We all know, or at least think we know, how much time is needed to be active on social media. And if that's not going to turn into profits, what's the point? But the answer is a resounding yes. Because building a personal brand isn't just about egos and engagement and likes and shares. It directly affects your bottom line. So let's go back to Sarah. Now remember, she was looking at two different firms. She went ahead and got a proposal from both. She got a proposal from the first one, that was the very professional, polished one, and she got a proposal from the second one. Whether David wrote the proposal or not, in her head, she felt like this was a proposal that David made for her. Now, David's proposal was 15% more expensive. The old school business playbook says that you go with the well-qualified yet cheaper firm. But Sarah spent months researching this, and while she was researching, she was consuming David's content. She already trusts his judgment, she knows that she aligns with his values, and she feels like he is the safer, better choice, even at a higher price. And she's not alone because studies show that 67% of Americans are willing to spend more money on the same product or service from companies whose leaders and top employees' personal brands align with their own values and that they follow and interact with on social media. Because trust gives you pricing power. And there's even power in the leads themselves. Because a lead generated from an employee's social media activity, just like the one that was generated from David's LinkedIn profile, converts 7 times more often than any other lead. You might be wondering why that is, because 7 times is a lot. And it's because he's already built the trust with this lead before a sales call even happens. And we all know that marketing is all about getting to know someone, getting to like them, and then trusting them. And we're already at that trust level before the sales call even happens. And this isn't just a small scale, one off type of thing that's happening. When a survey was conducted of top executives, those executives estimated that on average, 44% of the company's market value can be directly attributed to the personal brands of their top employees. So your reputation, your personal brand, it's not just part of your business. In a lot of ways, it's your entire business. So now that I've shown you the proof that trust, reach, and revenue are all tied to the strength of your own personal brand, this can make people feel one of two ways. It either feels incredibly empowering, or it can feel very overwhelming. And if you're falling into the overwhelmed camp, that's likely because you're experiencing one or more of the fears that we talked about in last week's episode. Maybe it's the fear of judgment, burnout, being vulnerable online, or just having to be on social media 24/7. And if you want to hear more about that, you can listen to last week's episode because all of these fears can easily be overcome. But I wanted to show you today all of this data is really the reason why it's worth pushing through those fears, because the stakes are just too high to remain the best kept secret in your industry. And building your personal brand doesn't mean that you have to become this slick influencer that's TikTok dancing and following all of the trends. It just means that you have to take small, consistent acts. And there are two really easy ways for you to start. First, you can do what David did. And for the next month, simply answer one common question that your clients ask you on repeat. You're not trying to sell anything. You are simply sharing your unique perspective on a problem that you are solving every day. And this is going to build your trust and authority. Or you can do what Maria did and take 15 minutes a day to become an active participant in whatever platform you choose. Leave thoughtful, insightful comments on other people's posts. Share articles that others have posted and add your own 2 cents. And it will help you build a network that establishes you as a thoughtful voice in the conversation. So you can actually build your personal brand without having to create any content of your own. Now, these are both ways to start. They're certainly not the end point, but if you can simply start by just making one post, one comment, or one connection, and you continue to make consistent drops into that bucket, it will add up over time. Because of the new trust economy that we are living in 2025, a strong, intentional personal brand is not about vanity or ego. It is your most valuable business asset. It can be an incredibly powerful engine for your reach, your reputation, and an amazing way to increase your revenue. It is the way to stop being the best kept secret in your industry and start becoming the immediate go-to choice for every time someone has a problem that you solve. Now, knowing why you should build a personal brand is super powerful, but having someone to guide you around the pitfalls that are going to come up, having a community that can relate to the same struggles that you're relating to, because let's be honest, that empty echo chamber feeling is something that we all feel from time to time. And having a system that is proven to get you results and to create real sustainable momentum on whatever social media platform you choose to use is what's going to help you move through the fears, show up with confidence, and start increasing your revenue through your personal brand. So if you're ready to stop letting fear call the shots and start building a personal brand that truly reflects your values and attracts your most perfect clients, I want to invite you to take a look at Personal Brand Impact. It's a supportive, strategic cohort designed to give you clarity, systems, and confidence to build an incredibly visible personal brand that you will absolutely love. Now, doors for this cohort are not open right now, but if you join the waitlist, you will be the first to know about all the early bird bonuses. So use the link in the show notes below. Because the future of your business isn't B2B or B2C, the future of business is human to human. And the data that I've shown you just confirms what I think we've all known in our hearts for a while. We know that we connect with, trust, and buy from human beings that we feel like we already know. So your story, your insights, and your values are some of the most powerful marketing tools you will ever have. You just might need someone to show you how to use them effectively. Please make sure you hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. And until next week, keep leading with integrity, serving with your heart, and striving for your own limitless impact.